Lawmaking. Aids to statutory interpretation. Internal aids. Internal aids to statutory interpretation, also known as intrinsic aids, are those contained inside the statute or published alongside it. These include 1. The long title of the Act. 2. The words of the statute. 3. Definition sections. 4. Explanatory notes. And 5. Codes of guidance. 1. The long title of the Act. The long title of the Act may give an indication of the aims or purpose of the legislation and thereby assist judges where there is ambiguity in the wording of the contents of the statute. For example, the Abortion Act 1967 has the long title, An Act to Amend and Clarify the Law Relating to Termination of Pregnancy by Registered Medical Practitioners. This was used in RCN versus DHSS to allow nurses to terminate pregnancy by administering hormones. 2. The words of the statute. Judges may look at other sections in the Act to help decide the meaning of the section under consideration. For example, in Cundy v. Lecoq, the defendant was charged with selling alcohol to an intoxicated person under Section 13 of the Licensing Act 1872. The defendant did not know the customer was drunk. Section 13 did not state that knowledge of the drunkenness was required. The court noted that other offenses under the Licensing Act did mention that knowledge was required. They concluded that the omission to refer to it in Section 13 was deliberate. The defendant was liable. 3. Definition sections. Most statutes will contain definition sections stating a particular meaning of words for the purposes of the Act. For example, Section 3 of the Theft Act 1968 defines an appropriation as any assumption of the owner's rights, whereas Section 4 indicates what constitutes property for the purposes of the Theft Act. 4. Explanatory notes. All public bills are now published with explanatory notes. These were introduced in 1999 and provide some explanation of the purpose of the legislation. 5. Codes of guidance. Some statutes, particularly those that have to be followed by public agents, will have accompanying codes of guidance explaining how the legislation should be implemented. For example, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, PACE, has codes A to H which set out guidance on how the police can exercise their powers in stop and search, arrest, detention and interviewing of suspects. Other examples include the Code of Practice for the Equality Act 2010. Also the Homelessness Code of Guidance, for local authorities for use when applying the Homelessness Reduction Act 2017. Whilst such codes are taken into account by the courts, they are not binding. In summary, internal or intrinsic aids to statutory interpretation include the long title of the Act, words of the statute, definition sections, explanatory notes and codes of guidance. This video is part of a series of videos on law from www.e-lawresources.co.uk. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel www.youtube.com/e-lawresources. It's free to do so and will help us to keep providing these videos. Check out our website which provides lecture outlines and case summaries. See also www.e-lawrevision.org.uk for revision games and quizzes. Thanks for watching.